I mean, pancakes. The guy is a genius. There's nothing he can't do. Nothing. The guy is phenomenal. Genius. I mean, I've been a performance artist for years, and I'll never, there's nothing, I can't even come close to the guy. The guy is just on another, he's just on a totally different level. I mean, this guy takes aesthetic experience beyond anything I've ever seen before. I mean, talking about a personal inspiration. This guy is like Santa Claus to little boys and girls. The guy, how many people do you know that can run to his cupboard, pull out a packet of Bisquick, and fucking the whole world changes, man? The guy cuts open a batter of Bisquick, he whips up a couple pancakes, and it's all over. It's history. It's history, man. It's all because of pancakes. This guy is a fucking genius. This guy is fucking... You know what's funny? The funny part about this is, it all started as like a norm of society. Just everyday life.
So Mike, how long have you known Pat?
About six and a half years.
Why don't you talk about how you feel about Pat? He's a close friend of yours, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
What do you know about Pat? Pat Mulvihill, he's pretty popular in the art community now.
Yeah, well, I know of his work, but I don't know him in particular. And what I know about his work is that it's, wrapped up in the idea of trying to produce pieces that are consistent with the art-life kind of connection. In other words, things that seem everyday or things that you would do on a normal kind of basis, with seemingly innocuous acts that people perform, maybe so it's something as simple as, I think it's cooking mostly that he deals with, making pancakes and things like that, and in odd or juxtaposed places, sort of things like that. It's fascinating work and important at some level. I think he really accomplishes quite a lot in what he does, and I respect him as an artist. And as I said, I don't know him as a person very well, but I know of him, and what I know about him is that he's quite interesting and intriguing.
So what are you gonna be doing here today? You're gonna be so you're gonna be performing today.
Right.
Is there a particular audience? Because I noticed that you just kind of tend to go in nature anywhere and just perform.
In time there shall be an audience.
So you think because of the way you're performing, it's going to attract an audience here? Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, what kind of performance are you going to do?
Expressionism, selfism,
I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
contortism.
Contortism?
Contortism. Maybe you should watch.
Yeah, we'll see what you do.
understand? What? You understand what's happening here?
I don't think anyone understands, Mike.
You do.
I don't think it's going so well.
It should.
God, Mike.
Understand anybody? You don't understand.
I've known Pat, let's see, I moved here in December of '85, and I probably met Pat the following year at school, so when we were both seniors in high school, Torrey Pines High School in Del Mar. You know, I didn't know him as a friend, and we'd buddy around and everything, but yeah, when he's doing what he does, he's a whole other person to me, and yeah, and I can't really say how much, you know, that has meant to my art or my attempts at art. Well, I would say besides Pat, my other has to be my biggest influence in life has to be George Lucas. And you know, I was 8 when Star Wars came out, and ever since then I've really been intrigued with this notion, the Lucasian philosophy of the Force. And I'd say I'm trying to get that belief encrusted in today's society. So often I will sit before an audience and simply try to reach out with the Force and touch them all in some way. It's tough because there's not that many people that are also believers like myself. And Pat's been great. Pat's been supportive. He doesn't quite get into it like I do and everything, but it takes time, I think. You know, I'm only 20. Well, I'm almost 22, and you know, by the time I'm 30, I can see myself, you know, rising to the level of somebody that's really knowledgeable in the ways of the Force.
Well, I'd say it was probably about 2 weeks ago, and we were all sitting around, a group of us, and, you know, bouncing ideas off people, telling, you know, performance art jokes, and discussing, you know, trying to get things done with what little money we have. And Pat just basically sprang it on us, you know. I was taken aback. The simplicity of the pancake idea of the food as the medium. I mean, who can't relate to food? You know, I'm here trying to do something very convoluted, somewhat esoteric, and Pat comes up with this brain stroke. I don't know. Of course, there were some, you know, naysayers in the group who didn't quite get into it right at the beginning, but...
Was that Scott?
Well, yeah. Scott and Pat, for one reason or another, just don't see eye to eye, you know, and fine, you know, oil and water don't mix, that's fine, that's part of art too.
I mean, the stuff that he's doing is nothing. It's just, you know, it's nothing that Liebman wasn't doing in the 70s in Soho, you know, you know, I think he worked with waffles though, and so now Pat's doing pancakes. Oh, big difference. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people would say that I'm snobbish about it, but I just don't think that there's high art in pancakes or even low art, really. Stuff that I'm most interested in is more multimedia, and I guess I just don't see being able to go multimedia with pancakes, you know, unless you bring in Mrs. Butterworth or something, maybe Aunt Jemima on the off chance, but see, that's art. That's That's not pancakes. That was art. That's yeah. It's not enough sugar.
What about me? What about me? Man, I was up doing art in the park. I'm a positionist. This cameraman here was here. He was supporting me. At least he was here. You don't even care.
Mike, I care about your art.
Then where were you when I was doing mine?
Okay, I missed one performance. All right,
Oh.
I've been at all your performances.
Oh.
I've been with you since the beginning.
Did you see the roly-poly? No. Did you see my leg over the shoulder? You weren't there.
Mike, I helped you develop the leg over the shoulder.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm out there busting my ass with this roly-poly. I'm trying to break out of the norm of society.
Mike, that's your problem. That's the thing that holds you back. That's the difference between you and me. You need an audience. That's something you haven't understood yet. All these people, they don't care. They don't care what you do. You do it because it's performance art for you.
Nobody recognizes you anymore. You know, you've gone off the deep end, my friend, and I'm worried. I'm worried shitless. It's not laughing.
Mike, that's something that it's the one thing that I've never been able to explain to you. And I guess you just will not be able to get that. The fact that I don't need an audience. I'm secure enough in what I do so that I feel fulfilled just in performing it.
Pat? Hey. What are you doing right now?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. I got this beach gig happening, and
That's the big one that you're planning on this week, right?
yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
How are things going with it?
The tide's coming in. Everything's going wrong.
Well, how far in the beach were you going to
Well, I
plan?
was going to have a couple of those hibachi things happening, and the whole configuration is off.
So this is where you're going to have it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking right about here. The sand is good. It's kind of it's a nice ambiance. Well, I'm gonna have to get here at 4 or 5 this morning and get rid of all this stuff because I want it to look right. I'm gonna need 50 square yards because I'm gonna have about 20 hibachis in this, and
You're going to cook the pancakes with hibachis tomorrow?
yes, I am. And I really don't have time to really talk about it too much because I have to get started. But it's the tide that has me worried because it's coming into the 30-yard mark, and it's going to take off my about 4 hibachis right there if that happens tomorrow morning. I'm thinking maybe I should have done this more like in February, March, but it's something I've been thinking about and toying with for a while now.
Are you gonna go to Pat's performance, his final performance?
I don't think so. No, I think I'll be making pancakes of my own.
How do you mean that?
I mean, I'll be doing something mundane, and yet I'll be enjoying myself much more than I would if I were at his performance.
No. Let's go out.
So, Mike, what are you doing down here today? I thought Pat wanted to do this by himself.
Yeah, well, we kind of talked about it for a little bit, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm kind of like a backup person for his final encore performance art. You know, he didn't really want anybody to see him down here today, so I'm just kind of here making sure everything's, going okay with everything, just in case he gets hurt. I'm making sure nobody comes around here and starts watching him. It's a real private thing. In fact, you're kind of fortunate enough to be here and see what's going on here. You're about to see something really wonderful.
beautiful, Pat.
Well, do you think the pancakes look good? Are they appealing or?
They look doughy, raw.
Ma'am, you don't know what you're talking about. This is
No,
art
Mike,
here. Don't even.
Mike,
don't
you're
even
being
talk-
defensive.
My daughter made pancakes from scratch on Saturday morning, didn't you? And they look 10 times better than this, and she's only 6 years old. How old are you, young man?
I'm 22.
22? No.
She's
Well,
not a performance artist like he
you
is.
know, I have traveled the world around. I have a degree in French. I've seen many, many forms of pancakes and crepes and tortillas, and this doesn't come anything close to any of them, no matter what language. Au revoir, mes amis. Keep cooking, Mr. Chef. Practice. Keep going.
I think it's just you just don't appreciate good art.
I appreciate art. I just don't appreciate barf on the grill.
I resent that.
Come on, Kel. Go, go.
Bitch. She doesn't know what's going on here. She doesn't understand it. It's just because she doesn't understand it. Well, you better walk away.
Where did you get the idea for pancakes? Out of the blue. the guy's a creative phenomenon. They don't care. They think art should be a little boat floating on a pretty ocean with a pretty little sunset and a couple little seagulls. That's not performance art. That's not art at all. I know he's a genius.